The sound came first. A sharp metallic clang as a prison gate slammed shut. Ethan Cross flinched. For a split second, the man who once controlled billions froze like a child caught doing something unforgivable. The echo of the steel door bounced through the corridor, loud, final, inescapable. A correctional officer's footsteps faded away, leaving Ethan alone with concrete walls, a narrow bed, and a silence so heavy it felt alive. He swallowed hard. This wasn't how his story was supposed to end. Years earlier, on a bright morning in New York City, Ethan Cross stood in a glass-walled office overlooking the skyline, buttoning his tailored suit while assistants waited nervously for his signal. Phones rang. Screens flashed numbers. People whispered his name with reverence. Mr. Cross is here. That sentence alone could calm anxious investors. He walked into the conference room with an easy smile, shoulders relaxed, eyes warm. Across the table sat a dozen people, retirees, business owners, a young couple holding hands too tightly. Their lives were folded neatly into the files in front of him. A woman with silver hair cleared her throat. Her name was Linda Parker. Her voice trembled, but her eyes held hope. Mr. Cross, she said softly, this is everything my husband and I saved. 42 years. I need to know it's safe. Ethan leaned forward, resting his hands on the table, his voice calm and steady. You did the right thing coming here, Linda, he said. I don't gamble with people's futures. I protect them. Her shoulders relaxed. A tear slipped down her cheek, and she nodded. Around the table, heads followed suit. Trust settled into the room like warm air. If you believe stories like this matter, take a second right now to like this video and subscribe to Echoes of Life. Stories of karma, truth, and consequence deserve to be told. What no one in that room knew was that the numbers on Ethan's screens were lies. Carefully polished lies. The returns were fictional. The profits were recycled from newer investors. There were no real trades, no secret strategies, just a growing hole Ethan kept filling with other people's money. At first, it wasn't meant to become this. Years ago, when Ethan was just starting out, a bad investment nearly ruined him. One mistake. One shortcut. When a client asked for their money back and he didn't have it, he used another client's funds to cover the gap. Just this once, he told himself. And it worked. No one noticed. No alarms rang. In fact, the client thanked him for the smooth process. That was the moment something dangerous clicked inside Ethan. From then on, the lie didn't feel like a lie. It felt like control. Months turned into years. His reputation exploded. Wealthy families begged to get on his client list. Charities trusted him with donations meant to feed the hungry and house the homeless. At charity galas, people raised glasses to him. To Ethan Cross, a board member once said, smiling wide. The man who never loses. Ethan smiled back, lifting his glass, hiding the cold truth behind his eyes. At home, the praise followed him. His sons, Marcus and Leo, watched their father move through life like a king. Expensive dinners. Private flights. Doors opening before he even touched them. Marcus, the older one, admired him openly. You're a genius, Dad, Marcus said one night. I don't get how you do it. Ethan ruffled his son's hair. Hard work. Discipline. And knowing when to stay calm. Leo, younger and quieter, watched from across the room, his brow furrowed. He didn't say much, but he noticed the late-night calls, the locked office door, the way his father's smile faded when he thought no one was looking. The first real crack came quietly. A small charity director named Thomas Reed called Ethan's office repeatedly. His messages went unanswered. Finally, Thomas showed up in person. I need to speak to Mr. Cross, Thomas said, his voice tight. Our withdrawal was delayed again. We need that money. People depend on it. The receptionist hesitated, then made the call. Ethan came out moments later, his smile already in place. Thomas, relax, he said lightly. There's been a minor delay. Nothing more. Thomas searched his face. You're sure? Ethan nodded. Absolutely. Thomas left, uneasy but reassured. That night, Ethan stared at his computer screen long after everyone else went home. Numbers blurred together. The hole was bigger now. Much bigger. Just one more month, he whispered to himself. Then came the market downturn. Phones rang nonstop. Panic crept into voices that once sounded confident. I want to withdraw everything. I need my funds immediately. Ethan, what's happening? For the first time in decades, Ethan felt fear crawl up his spine. He delayed. He reassured. He lied faster than ever before. At home, the tension was impossible to hide. Dad, Leo said one evening, standing in the doorway of Ethan's study, people keep calling. You don't sleep anymore. What's going on? Ethan snapped. You wouldn't understand. Leo didn't back down. Then help me understand. Ethan looked at his son and saw not admiration, but concern. Real concern. Go to bed, Ethan said sharply. Leo turned away, but the doubt stayed. Days later, Marcus found documents left open on the desk. Numbers that didn't add up. Accounts that led nowhere. He confronted his father in the living room. This doesn't make sense, Marcus said, holding the papers. Where is the money? Ethan's face drained of color. You went through my things? He asked. Answer me, Marcus said. His voice cracked. Is something wrong? Silence filled the room. Then Ethan sat down, suddenly looking older, smaller. There's something I need to tell you, he said. The confession came out in fragments. Broken sentences. Excuses wrapped in regret. I meant to fix it, it just grew. I couldn't stop. Marcus stood frozen. Leo covered his mouth with his hand. You lied, Leo whispered. To everyone. I built something, Ethan said desperately. I gave people hope. Marcus shook his head. You sold them lies. After a long moment, Marcus straightened his shoulders. We're calling the authorities, he said. Ethan looked up sharply. You wouldn't. Marcus met his eyes. We have to. That night, Ethan Cross's empire collapsed. The arrest made headlines. Cameras flashed as he was led away in handcuffs. The same people who once praised him now shouted questions filled with anger and disbelief. In court, victims spoke one by one. Linda Parker stood at the podium, hands shaking. I trusted him, she said through tears. I trusted him with my life. Thomas Reed followed. Our charity shut down, he said. People went hungry because of him. Ethan sat silently, staring at the table. When the judge spoke, the room went still. You didn't just steal money, Judge Harrison said. You stole futures, dignity, and peace. This court sentences you to multiple life terms. If you're still watching, comment below. Do you believe karma waits patiently, or does it strike when we least expect it? Prison stripped Ethan of everything. No tailored suits. No assistants. No respect. Inmates didn't know his name. Guards didn't care about his past. At night, he lay awake replaying faces. Linda's tears. Thomas's anger. His sons walking out of the courtroom without looking back. Years passed. Ethan aged fast. His hair grayed. His body weakened. One evening, sitting alone on his bunk, he whispered into the darkness, I had everything. The darkness didn't answer. When Ethan Cross died behind bars, there was no crowd. No tribute. Just a notice on a bulletin board. Outside those walls, life went on. But the echo of his actions remained. Because karma doesn't rush. And it never forgets. If this story moved you, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Every action leaves an echo, and some echoes last forever.